Hello and welcome to a very special edition of the Punters Guide. We are looking forward to Super Saturday, dubbed because we've got action at Newmarket, Ascot, York, listed action at Chester as well. But there's 11 races in front of the ITV cameras, and delighted that one of their main men, Jason Weaver, is alongside. I mean, where do we start? 11 fantastic races. How are we going to keep up?
Yeah, it'll be fast. It will be furious, and I think when you've got that little bit of time to yourself to relax, you've got to pick and choose. I think you have to be fairly selective. You've got to roll your accas up together, and hopefully we'll find you one or two along the way. And surprisingly, managed to come up with something that I think is particularly strong throughout the 11 as well. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Good. Well, I look forward to that then. Well, hopefully there'll be some big prices in there as well, because of some big fields, starting with the first at York at 145, 19 runners over the mile, 5 last time out winners. I was quite sweet on Chichester, the Carlisle Bell winner, but it is just wide open, isn't it?
Yeah, Chichester was only put up £3 for the victory there. The second was absolutely flashing home, I suppose, an easier nature of the track here at York compared to Carlisle, where they climb up the hill. Obviously, that fantastic race, the Carlisle Bell, super competitive. Hortzadar didn't probably show what he could do at the Hunt Cup. I certainly wouldn't put people off having a few quid each way at him at a bit of a price. Le Trinidad has taken a £6 hike for the win here. You've got Jump the Gun, who's off the back of a big win at Hamilton. I have to say, it's easy for me. I will put up Hortzadar as an each-way play. I think it's the sort of race you can have a little bit of a couple of views on it. But Ajayal was punted as if defeat was out of the question. He'd been working really well for the Haggis team. He'd done particularly good last season. That was in a handicap here at York. He was a bit burly and big in the paddock. I'm sure the punters were frightened when they saw him canter down to post. Anyway, he finished 4th. He's bound to improve. He's been gelded. He's got all the pedigree and everything. And it could be a brilliant day. We talk about the one meeting rule at the moment for the jockeys, so they're not rushing about. James Sullivan, Jimmy, has come in for some great rides for the Haggis team.
Yeah, and that caught my eye as well. So, right, 1 down, 10 to go. Good to have William Buick back, obviously, after his 11-day ban from the Royal Meeting. He's got a chance on Smoot in the first we see at Newmarket. And again, I was quite sure on King Mania here on a hat-trick. I think the handicap had not quite got a grip with her yet.
Yeah, that's from a really good family in those famous Fusstock colours that Chris Wall does incredibly well with. Rick Nar, who's going through the grades nicely, but you've got to ask yourself whether you think she's a top-notch. Samoot is an easy pick, only put up £3 for the Sandringham run. But it was a hard race, had a really hard race coming into that, chasing a bit of daylight. The Johnny Murtagh runner eventually winning that particular contest very well. I keep going back to Star of Emirati. I mean, I know that they went in, they paid a fortune for us. She switched from Kevin Ryan's to John Gosden's. Forget the last run. It was heavy ground. She never raised a gallop at all. She's got some really good group race form in the book as a juvenile. 4th run for the team. Dittori going out to ride as well. I know it's for the boss, but she's up around 25 to 1 at the moment. Her best performance to date was over course and distance. I just think she's the wrong price against some handicappers. She may not be that super group performer, but she's a good handicapper.
Yeah, it's a big price, isn't it, for one of Frankie's won the Prix Solera last year. Massive price, wasn't she? 66 to 1. Back up to York then for this John Smith's Silver Cup, and obviously all eyes are on Hulmes, who's Hardwick third, got a Frankie with Broome winning a Group 1 last week. He finished just a length in front of him. But there's another Royal Ascot horse in here as well. Quick Thorn, interesting. Hughie Morrison throwing this one in this Group 3.
Yeah, Quick Thorn had looked particularly good. Made an absolute mockery of the handicap system going through the grades at Haydock and at the Royal Meeting. Outbox is super tough. Miranda wants it like a quagmire, doesn't he, to be at his absolute best. And Ilarab for the William Haggis, James Sullivan, Jimmy coming in for a real good spin here, who was behind Hukum when they met in the Hardwick last time. Can't really see why he's going to turn that form around. 1 or 2 people trying to give him a bit of a chance. The unknown quantities, again, Hukum's an easy pick, isn't he? Why won't he? Gets the tongue tie on today, which I find a little bit strange when he seems to have run well without it. So don't know if it's jockey feedback as to maybe he was getting his tongue up over the bit and sometimes makes them a little bit harder to steer in the early stages. Max Vega has got some very good form in the book. They've been waiting for the ground. They haven't run him under quick conditions on a couple of occasions. Now, again, I put a line through when he tried to chase home Trushan. Prior to that, he'd been knocking around in some real good form. You know, he had listed winning form as a juvenile. He beat Miss Yoda. You've got his 3-year-old form, I think, was particularly strong in parts. If he's fit and ready to go, there's no doubt about him staying whatsoever. He might have just slotted under the radar here at a bit of a price. And Max Vega, again, he's an each-way play. He does have to step up dramatically. Hukum may prove too good, but he's going to be short, tongue to arm for the first time. It's an easy excuse if the favourite gets beat.
Yeah, this is interesting. And don't be afraid of putting a few up at a big price, or certainly backing a few at a big price, because there will be a few shocks, no doubt, throughout the afternoon. Will one come in the 240 at Newmarket? There'll be lots of eyes on this one. Probably many people's idea of a banker of the day, isn't it, being on the short side? Royal Fleet, William Buick, Charlie Appleby. Impressive at Yarmouth last time out. The second and third have both come out and won since.
Yeah, he's one of the sexy horses on the card. I mean, people will look at Cahill down the bottom, but look, he was winning at Wolves and Chelmsford on a couple of occasions. So, you know, he dips his toe into much better company. If you were to play devil's advocate, you could probably say Kadar, who I'm sure he went off favourite for the Coventry last year, put up a great performance at a big price on his return. He won at Goodwood, disappointed last time. So a bit of a recovery mission. Royal Fleet, the sexy one, he probably should have been allotted a mark much higher than 93. But from a handicapping perspective, normally in this scenario, we say, oh, he's been given 70. You know, why on earth is he 70? He can't win off that. Here you're thinking, he could have been given 100 and you still might think he may be well handicapped. So 93, I think the handicapper's got it wrong. He could be very, very good, this lad.
Yeah, I tend to agree as well. He did it very stylishly under a penalty as well. The form looked pretty good. To Ascot for the first time then on Saturday, and it's a Betfred sponsored card. Delighted to be sponsoring at Ascot, and it's the Summer Mile. The Group 2 is their feature, where Sir Busker looks to enhance his good course record. Although all that's come on the straight course, this is on the round mile, isn't it? And we've also got the likes of Top Ranking. I know horse you like, who was second to Century Dream at Windsor recently.
Some brilliant form on show. I mean, this is no gimme for Sir Busker. Tilsit ran a blinder over in France last time, only just failed. Top Rank, who you mentioned, Regal Reality has recently changed ownership, was with Cheveley Park, obviously, now goes in Peter Doan's colours. Interesting, you know, the likes of Duke of Hazzard. We haven't seen the best of him just recently. Century Dream, for anybody out there, he wants it bottomless. The softer, the better. I have no idea. It's got to be really testing for him to be at his absolute best. But Sir Busker, a long time between drinks. The round course, I heard an interview with his trainer the other night, William Knight, saying he has put all his best performances on a straight track, if you like, but he'll be fine at Ascot. He won't mind conditions. Big ride for Calum Shepard, who actually rode his first ever big winner for the William Knight team back at Kempton many moons ago. I think Sir Busker, he certainly deserves one. It's been a long time between drinks. 4-1, I'm tempted in at that price.
Yeah, he was likely market leader. Incredibly, the favourites on the last 8 renewals of the Betfred Summer Mile, and some decent prices as well, not all shorties. So certainly one for the punters, that Betfred Summer Mile. Back to HQ then with the juveniles in action with the superlative stakes at 3:15, 9 set to go to post, and all of them have tasted victory. So for a couple here coming in on the back of probably a little bit disappointing runs at Royal Ascot, likes of Debab and Masakila.
Yeah, I don't want to give it away too early, but I've got to say Debab, I think, is the nap of the afternoon. I was all over him. He put up a tremendous performance to win on his debut at Leicester. In the Coventry itself, he was sent off a red-hot favourite. He was only beaten 4 and a bit lengths. He was never on the bridle from the word go. 6 furlongs, just slightly on the collar there at Ascot, always on his nose. When the gaps are, from a jockey's point of view, they're moving a little bit quicker than you are. You know, and the rhythm of this race, the fact that he backs up just 25 days later, and he wasn't given an overly hard time. Once his chance had gone at the Royal Meeting, he just sort of was left alone. Robert Havlin was on board. He didn't come home in his home time, but it was hands and heels up to the line. I'm sure when he came back in saying, look, we've got to go up in trip. Honestly, I think he's the nap of the afternoon.
There you are then, DeBab, the nap of the afternoon in the superlative. Should take some beating in that juvenile contest. Very different then when we get back to Ascot then, the Betfred Heritage Handicap over the flying 5 furlongs, 20 runners spread across the track. Best of luck, Jason. What are we thinking here?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a couple of stabs at it. One on either side. When you've got big money like this on offer, people will target particular races. There is one horse in here that I think has definitely been kept back for this. There's one who's been running every week, and I'm in danger of literally landing on him as we land the other side of the cliff, which is Mondamedge, obviously, who's drawn up in a high stall. So he'll give you a run for your money. He's very, very tricky. Things have got to fall right, but he still hasn't been able to get everything to fall in his lap as yet. So I think Mondamedge from the high stall. There's a horse, Mackinac, who's actually got a really good record first time out. And I was surprised that he ran so appallingly badly at Chester on his return. It was much more like it last time. He's drawn in the low numbers, as we saw. Either side of the track seemed to be okay at the Royal Meeting, so I'm hoping for the same. We get a jockey upgrade, Ben Curtis, recently back from his left shoulder popping out of its ball joint, but was straight back a week later, remarkably, strapped up, popped it back in. Who says that the flat jockeys are not tough lads? And he's back amongst the winners as well. Mackinac quite clearly has been kept back for this. You run a good race near on 50 days ago. There's been loads of opportunities for him to run. They haven't. They've kept him back for this.
There we are then, 2 against the field there, Mackinac and Mondamedge in that Betfred Heritage Handicap. And if you want 2 there, you might need a couple in the Bunbury Cup as well, Jason, at 350 at Newmarket. Amethyst likely to head the market. He's £3 wrong under his penalty. Jamara Bay did it nicely. The fun kind of working out, beating a quitter who ran well last weekend. And of course, at the Britannia winner, Perotto, coming in, one of the 3-year-olds in the field.
Yeah, there's a wide range of abilities on show, and certain horses climbing up the ladder, if you like. Last year's winner, Mutakale, I thought he ran a cracker behind Glorious Journey in the Criterion. It's not going to be easy from where he's perched on 109. He's £4 above where he won it from last year, but he just loves this track. Could be a big afternoon for Dettori. I think that he's nigh on guaranteed to give you a big run for your money. And then you're thinking, right, is there one better handicapped or something to come through? Amethyst, who you mentioned, looking for the 5-timer, climbing through the grades. Certainly looked as if he was in front of his mark, the way he rattled home last time and hit the line strong. But I think Mutakale will probably be underestimated. However, Dettori on board always attracts a pound or two, doesn't it? And again, massive amount of money on offer for the contest. I think that Ropey Guest is underestimated in the market. Now, he went off at 7-1 shot for the Wokingham behind Rohan. They absolutely punted him off the boards. They were going for the big Hail Mary, weren't they, in the big handicap? It didn't happen. Completely flat out the whole way down there. He's drawn in high numbers. Mutakale's in low numbers. Around about 33, so I think he's the wrong price. He's not a multiple winner, but I don't think he's been given many opportunities by his trainer. This could just about sit right for him. He's a triple-digit rated runner who's off a mark of 98 at the moment, so at least he's got a bit up his sleeve.
Yeah, he does usually run well, doesn't he, without, let's say, getting his head in front, but it's certainly a each-way make-up kind of race, as is the Johnson List Cup back up at York at 405, another ridiculously competitive handicap, another big betting race on this Super Saturday. We've got the Royal Hunt Cup second, Astro King for the informed Sir Michael Stout, one of the main market leaders, and incredibly, the Northumberland Plate winner, Nicholas T, drops back 6 furlongs in trip.
Yeah, I mean, remarkable, isn't it? Jim Goldie's done a brilliant job with him. The horse, Real World, who beat Astro King, at Ascot. Just, now and again you get a rap over the knuckles, don't you, if you've won too well. He got a £14 rap over the knuckles by the handicapper. He was put up a stone for that success. Whereas Astro King left on the same mark. So there are lots and lots of positives as regards him backing up and coming here. He'll definitely appreciate, I think, the trip track. He's got a nice draw in store number 14. This is a real competitive heat. Target trainers again. He's not been gifted the best draw, but 24 over the extended mile and a quarter you can get away with. Surrey Pride, have a look back at his win over course and distance last time. He absolutely bolted in late in the day. It was a big double across the card, double on the day for the Surrey Pride owners. And he immediately, Joe Chewett said, we're not running again. I've got loads of opportunity. I think he could have gone to Epsom. He could have gone to the Royal Meeting. He could have gone to all these places. He pinpointed this as the place he was going to go. So I think he's overpriced. Astro King is an easy pick. Surrey Pride got a bit of quality about him.
Yeah, that form's working out well. I think Macron was in second. He won last week, was he? Chichester was in fifth. He's won since. As well, the fourth's gone in. Pavoyne, yeah, that's gone in. So that form looks pretty solid. Yeah, Surrey Pride certainly caught my eye in the John Smith's Cup. Right, race 10 we're going to look at, Jason, is the feature without doubt. It is the Group 1 July Cup. Oxford looking to retain his crown. Obviously won the King's Stand at Royal Ascot last time, but he's got 18 worthy rivals here. We've seen Starman winning at York. I could go on and on and on, but all 19 come here with some sort of chance.
Vittori has his 23rd ride in the race and he hasn't managed to win it in 22 stabs at it so far. Let's hope his unlucky run continues here, the same as the football. So that would be absolutely spectacular. He's got a squeak on Extravagant Kid, but I can't really see it. He's not far away on the ratings. 114. He's banged there, drawn 12, and it's the one that's missing off his CV. I could give so many a chance. Oh, Starman, Creative Force, Art Power could go well at a bit of a price. There are lots and lots in here. I've been a big fan of Oxted. It's more to do with the run of the race. They're going to go quick. It's going to suit his style. He just switches off and finds a rhythm in the middle of the race. Back to the minimum wasn't really ideal for him at Ascot. They just went so quick that it sort of fell into his lap. So I'd be hard pushed to look away from Oxted. The only one I can see at a price that is wrong, possibly a little bit of a rick, is definitely Method. Now, he was 2.5 lengths behind Rohan on his return under ground conditions that would have been okay, but not ideal. 2.5 lengths against a match-fit runner who'd been going through the grades nicely at Haydock. That was his return. We haven't got to see him afterwards. They've again given him a bit of time. I think Sean Levy's come in for an absolutely cracking spare on Method. They went painfully close in the Irish Derby. They've been knocking on the door, Statement beaten by Alcohol Free, all these things, all small margins where what's been a good season could have been a spectacular season. So this will be prepped and ready to go. He's got his ideal conditions, 6 furlongs, decent ground. He's a big each way player. The underdog, big time.
Yeah, interesting. That Method. You mentioned Rohan. Just a little word on him. I mean, how much of a good thing was he off a mark of 55 at Newcastle last season? It's an incredible story, isn't it? His rise.
Yeah, I mean, he's a wonder horse. They've got a whole new team now involved with the ownership. Obviously, not able to run in a lot of the races because he's a gelding, which in Australia they're open to everything. But I think the classics need to be kept, don't they, to full entire horses, if you like. And he's just been a great story. Dave Evans is an absolute cracker. He's had to give up the fags and the drink, or he would have been in the ground by now. A real party animal back in the day. But I think he used to give you the jockeys their orders from the bar at Wolverhampton. He'd sort of bang on the window. He'd say, go forward. Right, okay. But no more, Dave. He's on the straight and narrow, and he's winning everything.
Yeah, I remember at York when the kiddie kid won. He was enjoying a beverage or two. But yeah, great character in the game, and he's finally say he's got his desserts here with Rohan. What a story he has been. Right, deep breath. It's the 11th and final race we've got to look at, Jason, and it won't take that long to finish either. It'll be about a minute. The City Wall Stakes at York. There'll be no hanging around here. El Astronauta, of course, always likes to go forward. Dakota Gold's been an absolute star for Michael Dodds. And you got Winter Power right down the bottom on a retrieval mission. We know that she loves York and just went far too fast in the King's Stand, didn't she?
Yeah, she's not the easiest conveyance from A to B, and I'm sure underneath it all that the team are quite happy that David Allen gets the call. He knows her. I think it's Joran Fenterman who rides her at home all the time. She's an absolute handful. I mean, really, really sensitive. You talk about that. Whether it's a motorbike when you hit the power band or the Ferrari when you touch the pedal, this is one of those. I think she's the best in the race. Probably can see her being a major force in the sprinting division for the next couple of seasons. So listed company, it looks as if it's there for the taking. Moss Gill was last year's winner. Ed Bethel had a listed winning juvenile, Ferriby, just the other day at Sandown. The team are doing really well, so wouldn't underestimate Moss Gill putting up a big effort, but Winter Power should be too quick. It'll be literally like on that TYZ 250 when you hit the power band and away she goes.
Yeah, there's no coming back either. Winter Power then. In the 11th and final race, we're going to look at the City Walls at York. Thanks very much, Jason. Now, of those 11, I think you've already given it us, but just to confirm that best bet.
Yeah, Dabab, I think, will take a world of beating. He steps up to the 7 furlongs. I think he's a massive player. And we were talking briefly there. It's hard to say he's a nap, but I'm pretty confident that Surrey Pride will be very hard to knock out of the first 4. The form is absolutely rock solid. Spoke to the trainer at Windsor just the other evening, and he targeted this for a long time. He's got a big slice of quality about him. If you were to watch him walk around in the prelims, doesn't look like a handicapper. He wouldn't look at a place in a group contest, and that's what you need for that particular contest. It's such a tough race, but he's got to change a gear. So look, Dabab I think will win. He's likely to be towards the top of the market, but Surrey Pride not to be underestimated, about 14 to 1.
Great stuff for them too. And then obviously that's all Saturday covered, but the weekend ends with that big game at Wembley. What are your thoughts and predictions for that?
Oh, do you think we could take another penalty shootout? Do you think we could? It'd be so good, wouldn't it?
I couldn't take extra time on Wednesday night.
I think I genuinely think England can win. I watched the Italy-Spain game. I wasn't impressed at all. I think our boys have got a bit more movement, a bit more zip about them. What you wouldn't want is to go behind early and then do what we've all been saying, get Foden, get Grealish, get Rashford, get them all on, right? And then end up on the back foot, getting caught on the break again. But it's probably going to be a bit cagey early, isn't it? It'll be a slow start, and it'll step up a gear, I think, in the final 45.
There we are. That's it. Dabab to win. Surrey Pride, it's hard to keep out of the frame, and it's coming home on Sunday night as well, according to Jason. Brilliant stuff. Thanks for joining us. That was Super Saturday covered on the Punters Guide. As always, though, whenever you're back in this week, the very best of luck, and as always, please gamble responsibly.